go back to the beginning.
The whole story?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I close my eyes during this, or
It's okay.
it doesn't matter? Okay, it's okay. Yeah. I see more with my eyes closed as I go back. So some people may not understand that, but it's just so. My story begins April 9th, 1971. Saskatchewan, Canada. Fishing Lake First Nation, Treaty 4 territory. My mother went into a diabetic coma when she came to. When she came back, she wanted to see me and to hold me, and the doctors told them that I had passed away. What had happened was the day of my birth, they had taken me 800 miles away to an orphanage, and yeah, that's how my life began. You know, people ask me, you know, what do I remember first? What was my first memory of life? And I can tell you, my first memory of life was I used to think it was fear. But it wasn't fear, and it went far beyond fear. It was terror, absolute terror. You know, people ask me too about what it was like, especially now, you know, 52 years later, you know, looking back, and like, you know, when was your first spiritual experience? And for spiritual experience, the first outside voice that came into me, it definitely saved my life. It was that voice that said, "The quiet ones survive." I could hear that over and over. But I remember this one moment. This one child was crying, and I can remember looking over. I was probably still pretty young, but I remember looking over and just thinking, this is really bad. This is really bad. This is so bad. And I just wanted this one to just be quiet. It was carrying on, and I can remember somebody coming in the room, and I can remember somebody, you know, smothering them. I remember it, so. Remember they lined us up there. You know, we were just standing in line, and I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know. And then somebody there was going up 1, 2, 3, 4, and I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I'm just standing there in line, just trying to survive, really, you know, because my life experience at that point was not that I knew spiritually that life was most important. All I knew that is I just wanted to live, and I knew that that my life was in danger. It was in serious danger. You know, I can remember periods of just like, you know, and so anyway, it would be like 9, 10, 11, and then I would stand there, and then one of the kids just went like that. He elbowed me and said, "Oh, okay." And I said, I guess I acknowledged that. But what was happening was they had taken away my name, and they gave me a number. And so my bed correlated with that number on it. So I wasn't a person anymore. I was a number. Okay, good. Good. And then I can remember very vividly two white people there. And I can remember they brought me in somehow. It was a room probably not bigger than this little place here, and they were standing to me, and there was a white woman there, and there was a man with a big beard there, and they were happy, right? They were smiling and they were happy, and I was like, okay, I was really unsure about what was happening. And then my next memory was kind of going with them, right? And I didn't understand what was happening, right? I just so they had taken me away from this really scary place, and then they moved me to another really scary place, because people in the colonial Western world, they call it adoption, right? And they say, they say that you were rescued, and they say that and all this, but that wasn't my experience. My experience was that I wasn't rescued. My experience was that I had to survive these people here, because I didn't know what they were going to do to me, how often they were going to do it to me. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then the woman said, well, you're my mom, I am your mother, and I didn't know what that was. I don't have any idea what you're talking. I have no idea what you're talking about. What you're talking to me about being a mother you are a really scary person to me. I can remember my father. He was about 6'1", and he had this big, huge beard, and I can remember walking into the room, and I thought he was a pirate. And I said, oh man, and I never knew, as part of this family dynamic that I was part of, I never knew if I was going to fall asleep in the same bed that I woke up in. So imagine waking up every morning and being like, this could be it. This family here. So there was a problem with me bonding. So they were just over there, and I was over here, and I had to survive you. If I ate, that was good. If I went to sleep, that was good. If anything else happened, we'll just deal with that as it happens, right? Just like, I remember not being able or being scared to express myself. As I grew older, I was able to talk and have emotions and have feelings, and then I said, well, the quiet ones survive, right? So I was just very, very quiet, so I couldn't tell them how I was feeling. Nobody asked me who I was or what I was doing or how I felt or anything like that, right? They just naturally assumed that because they were taking care of me, that I was doing okay. But I really, on the inside, I just was completely unavailable I was playing a role. I was a chameleon. I was an actor. And sooner rather than later, I found, drugs and alcohol, right? I found that, and but they always told me that I was going to be an alcoholic, right? And they said, well, you're just going to, that's white people, well, that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do, right? indigenous world, stone is our most ancient ancestor. So we understand she's a living, breathing, just like us. She's living, breathing. She's part of Mother Earth. She's really beautiful, really beautiful medicine. So again, we come here, we mean no harm in what we do. So that's all. That's all. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. And she'll be here long after we're gone. So. The pipe is our direct connection to Mother Earth, to the Creator, to the Great Spirit. It is our altar. Pipe is a moving altar. It's part of the people's pipe. It's not my pipe. I'm a pipe carrier, and so I walk with the pipe to help the people heal and to help the people connect. To prayers to be heard, prayers to be asked, prayers to be answered. All those things that we as humans, we question. We question and to help heal us, to help us connect. Healing and connection is pretty much the same thing. You help connect the people to the earth. The earth will give its medicine back to the people, because that's that connection, that door, that flow, as they would say now, that energy is there and helps connect to the people. Yeah. Opening our prayer. What's today? 26. Okay, good. Let's go. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Wayne William Snellgrove, Solar Trout Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Nakaway people, Anishinaabe, and we are back. Morning meditation. And if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much, and it's an honor to sit here with you. I have missed you. I missed our morning routine. We always get up and have our coffee, and then, I make my way over to the Facebook Live, and then here I am. Let's open up this circle in a good way. Creator, Great Spirit, Kitchimanitou, Megwitch, thank you. Kiwazana me, I love you, we love you. Thank you for this day, thank you for this circle. Thank you for our breath. Thank you for life. We come here for one reason, and that is to celebrate life. Life is most important. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next. And we live in that place in between. We come here to celebrate life in all directions, all 7 directions. We come here to celebrate life of those that have come before us, and especially for those that will come after us. This ceremony may end, but the ceremony within you does not. It doesn't do us any good if we don't take what we lived here, what we learned here, what we loved here, And if we don't take it out there, it doesn't do anybody any good. We have to be that love. We have to be the ceremony for all life out there. That is hollow bones. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. I love you. Bye. Okay. All right. Well, how'd that go, huh?
That's good. So powerful.
I'm not used to having an audience. I'm usually sitting in a room by myself when I do this, but it's, no, it was a good one, you know. You know, it's all part of that great love that's out there, you know. That great love, that great flow, that great sunshine, that great everything, and I just want to be a part of that, and how I do that is I help others. That's it, you know. It does us little good if I only carry it to natives. It does us little good if I carry it to men. It does us little good if we carry it only to women. It does us little good if I carry it to the birds. It does us little good if I only carry it to the standing people. I have to carry it to all, or, you know. That's the deal right there, you know, that's the deal. You know, if I want the seventh generations to live a better life, then this is what I have to do. My prayer just can't go one direction. Like religion is kind of like a one direction kind of thing, you know. You know, that's it. That's like the one, you know, call what is the Savior. The one Savior, the one. You know, indigenous spirituality is about the all. You know, I could see all that beauty out there. I could feel that beauty out there. But I never thought that I was a part of that beauty out there, because there was that separation. And so I never felt like and that's how that suicide came about at age 7. I said, well, like if I don't matter, my life doesn't matter. I don't matter. It doesn't matter. No one will miss me anyway, you know. You know, nobody loves me. I'm unlovable. No matter what I do, no matter how much I scrub my skin, how much I talk like a white person, the U.S. told me that I should be ashamed of being Native. When I was in 5th grade social studies class in school, the chapter was how the West was won and how the cowboys defeated the heathens. And then every kid in that class, every white face looked at me. And, you know, then I was like, oh my God, okay, I just feel like, you know, I was like, okay, I was like, just like, you know. But that's normal for the colonial world to shame anything that isn't white. No one told me that I was stolen. Nobody told me that my mom still wanted to love me. Nobody told me that. So, in my little mind, at 5, 6, 7 years old, it must be because I'm unlovable. It must be because I wasn't born perfect because I have a cleft palate. It says, well, because all moms want a perfect baby. 10 fingers, 10 toes, perfect, you know, perfect baby. And then obviously I wasn't perfect. And so I said, well, this is the reason why I'm unlovable. This is the reason why they rejected me. So if my own family, my own mom didn't love me, then who will? So it doesn't matter how much they offered me, how many cookies. It was still like I'll never measure up. I'll never be enough. I'll never matter. Drummer, step up closer to the fire. There we go. Okay. Warm that up a little bit. There we go. Warm it up. Get close. Get close. Right in. Right in. There we go. Right in. There we go. Right in. Warm up that fire. the fire brings out the spirit in the drum. Okay. You might have to restrain. Good. Like, hear the difference? Do you hear the difference? Okay. I was a swimmer. I had somehow managed to put together and hold together a pretty good swimming career at that point. You know, it wasn't all bad. You know, a large part of me loved to compete, and a large part of me that hated to lose, and that became my identity. And in a really beautiful way, it was part of those things that saved my life. You know, growing up the way I did, being an Indian in the white world, I always felt like a target of hate, target of being unlovable, target of name calling. The kids were awful about my lip and called me butt and lip and all that. And I was just like, okay, you know. But what I found out was that if you start winning, that color thing goes away. You are no longer the Indian. You are now the winning swimmer type thing. And I found that. I said, oh, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I was respected in certain circles, in certain swimming circles. I said, oh, there's Wayne. Oh, he's a really good competitor. He's a top athlete for his age group, you know. And there was some sort of probably my first form of healthy community that I've ever been in. It was kind of like, oh, there's Wayne the swimmer. Wow, he's a really tough competitor. He really trains hard. He really does this, and part of that reason why I trained so hard was because I hated myself. It wasn't, you know, I wanted to win, but I just wanted to beat myself up. And, you know, if I wasn't, you know, literally committing suicide, I was at the pool, beating my body up until everything hurt. And everything was sore and everything, you know, swimming, it just takes everything out of you. And I can remember there was a couple of times after I would just swim until I couldn't breathe anymore. I couldn't do one more stroke or one more lap, and I just laid there, and that was one of the few moments of peace that I found. I said, oh, okay, I had no longer any room for anger, and I didn't understand how broken I was. I didn't understand how broken my heart was. There should be a place of sadness there for you. There should be a place of tears for you. There should be a place that you need to talk about this, and nobody ever told me that until I met what was to be my elder, Tony Stonehawk, and he was the first one that really ever said some really beautiful, gentle words. I'd never really met another Native man before, and there was Tony, and he said a few simple things. He just said, "Just come sit with me," or he said, "Come sit with me," and I said, "Okay." No, we can make medicine with this right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could have one for every medicine, right? Like the ones with personality, like that. Just, you know, so what would happen is you put a little medicine in there, a little cedar in there, and normally you would do this. You would sing. You would make good relations. You would just sing and just like. just real lightly. You don't have to jam it. You know, what you would do is you would just simply just really beautiful, just really natural, just like this. Yeah, just like this. See that? That's just Mother Earth is the greatest artist on earth. Look at that. See that? I've been sitting with my elder for 30 years now. 30 years. And it was only 12 years ago that he allowed me, he gave me a medicine bundle which allowed me to carry these ceremonies. So, which is interesting because at the beginning of my journey on the Red Road, there was no intention of me. I didn't have that prayer. I didn't say, you know what, in 30 years, I want to travel around Europe and the world and share all that. That wasn't even there. It was just kind of like, all basically the way this started for me was I wanted to come to ceremony because I wanted to stop drinking, and I didn't know how. And then it evolved into something so much more beautiful and so much more powerful. You know, what his grandfather Tony, he made me feel like the most important person in the world. And the elders that have done this for a long time, walking this way, they've encompassed this thing called we're all in, doing this according, doing it in a good way. That's being all in, making you feel like you are the most important person. Your story. And you see, that's where the real healing comes in, because if you're talking to me and I'm just kind of doing this, then you know that there's a fracture there. You know, there's a misalignment. Okay, everyone. Okay, so you two will be with me. You're going to clean out the fire.
Yeah.
You two can help with the rope.
Mm-hmm.
So we are building the womb of Mother Earth right now. No giggling. Very serious. Okay, ready? Slowly. Slowly, we're just going to bring it down. Just bring it down slowly. Oh, it doesn't break. Okay. Okay.
Ah ouais, non, mais c'est proche, quoi. C'est limite...
Okay, this one goes right here. There we go. That one. We come here to connect to all life. We go into the womb of Mother Earth. Again, it's the same space that my ancestors have been going in for thousands and thousands of years to pray, to connect to honor all life. It's a beautiful way to connect to people with all life. At 27, my mother passed away. She gave me one last lesson in life, and that's what what grieving and mourning really was. And so when I went to see her body, she had to die to give me that lesson. So when I was looking at her casket, I was grieving and mourning, and then I realized I've been doing that my entire life and never knew. I never knew that I was, careful. Okay, the puppy, okay. I never knew that's what that was. I knew there was something there, and I knew it was like a sadness type thing, but I never understood that that's what it was. And then I realized I didn't lose one mother, I lost two. So that was the day that I decided to really look for my biological mother, because I thought it was really unfair that I had lost two.
Tu veux, je mette la cafetière pas loin de la tasse,
Oh my God. Hey, boom.
Oh, thank you.
This is the way we connect on the res right here.
Coffee. And bread.
It was hard enough to find her. I would research, looking at adoption reunion websites, and then one night I came across a Canadian adoption, and I said, oh, and I looked through it, and then it talked about Indigenous adoption reunions, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen anything like this before. And I kept reading, and then they started talking about the 60 scoop, and they were talking about how Indigenous children were stolen from their tribes and sold to other parts of the world. But I'm like, oh my God, here's some hope. Here's some hope that I might be lovable. That I might not be unwanted. That's what I needed to open up that door. And so I emailed the website, and I explained everything, and I hit send. And that night, within 5 minutes, she responded. There was a private investigator called Ann Patterson responded. And she said, let's talk tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, we'll talk tomorrow. Okay, so talk tomorrow. So the next day we spoke. There was 3 Norse smokes in North America. And so, one was in Alabama. And I'm like, I don't think so. And I said, look, if she says you were a product of rape, don't tell me that. If she tells you she doesn't want anything to do with me, don't tell me that. If she says I'm a product of incest, don't tell me that. Just tell me to keep looking, and I will believe you. Because I told her that I would kill myself. I would absolutely kill myself. I had no hesitation. I couldn't take that heartbreak all over again. I couldn't do that. Just tell me, just keep looking. That's all you have to say. I will believe you. I will absolutely believe you. Say, hey, it didn't work out. Just keep looking. And that would save me, and that would save my life. So I needed that buffer. So she said she was going to call again, a call within the next, 3 days, and she was going to get back to me. And the next day she called, and I said, hello. And then she said, I've spoken to the most wonderful woman I have ever spoken to. And she was talking about my mom. And she said she loved you, and she misses you, and she wants you to come home. And it was just like, I was crying, and I was just like, oh my God. That was the day that I learned I wasn't forgotten. And that there was still love out there for me. And that she had remembered me every birthday, and she had celebrated every birthday. The family got together and celebrated my birthday every year. And then I can remember, what happens now. what happens now? And went back home for the first time at 32 years old. That was a good day. And I remember walking off like the airplane. I can remember seeing all these Indian faces, you know. And you know, right up until that time, I had been embarrassed to be an Indian. And I can remember meeting my siblings and you know, my nieces and nephews for the first time, walking off the airplane. They were all there. And I could see, like, the closer I walked up to the building, the closer they got together. And then right in the middle was my mom. And I can remember holding her for the first time. And she's like a little thing, too. She's like up to here in me. I'm like, remember that, you know. What do you say to your mom at 32 years old? What do you say? Like, I love you and I miss you. It just doesn't cover it. I mean, females particularly get moved by this because, you know, because you have that beautiful, you have that beautiful womb space you feel from here. Yeah. It's okay.
Let's cry again. Let's cry. He said I had to cry and to breathe. Yeah, so that's good. Otherwise I block it. Don't forget to breathe. So you see, I don't block.
Not blocking now, doing good. Well, the real spiritual thing is this is part of your healing too. This is part of all our healings right here. This is not my story.
No, that's all.
This is our story.
Yeah.
And so when I heal, we heal. Is that beauty? How beautiful that works. Just like. That's why I go where I go and do things like this. It's really a next 7 generation prayer. So the next 7 generations don't have to go through what my family went through, what they went through again. You take care of these two, okay?
Okay.
Off to the next year. Give me a hug. Come here. Okay, brother. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
If nobody tell you that we love you, we love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Et nous avons aussi été très touchés par un autre livre auquel nous avons donné une mention spéciale pour une parole autochtone, authentique et touchante de Wayne William Snellgrove, canadien, Le son qui est
Single-use plastic. We were wrong.
Pour la photo.
La reine du croissant.
Get some duct tape.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
May it be helpful to all the native people, your ancestors.
Help everybody. Help everybody. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
moyen de questionner les gens, mais c'est encore puis un jour, je vais avec
Well, when's our first fight? Saturday? Tomorrow or Saturday?
Right, yeah. Oh, no, that sounds good, right? Oh, right. Cultivating life and love, that's the most important thing. You know, we've forgotten how to do that. So, but here we are remembering to come together and to heal and to share the medicines and to share our stories and to share all these beautiful things that we're made of. And when we do that, we celebrate life. When I was born, 1971, what we're doing now was illegal. We couldn't do this. We couldn't have a pipe. I couldn't dress the way I dress. We couldn't have an altar. We couldn't go to ceremonies. Our medicine men and women were killed. They were hunted and killed. So Tony Stonehawk, my father, Robert Casius. Ceremony was so important. That they would hike 2 weeks straight into the bush to have a pipe ceremony. 2 weeks. They spent a month. One ceremony. That's how important this is. And that was their sacrifice so we can have ceremony today.
Why do you think your mom couldn't accept, your medicine and the culture?
Absolute fear. It was instilled in her that these medicines were dangerous. The people with the Bibles came and said, no. This is the way. I am the light. I am, whatever that says. It's something else. So they replaced something else with something that doesn't work for our people. We have to look at the big picture, and the big picture is there's still a very wounded society. It's very traumatized, right? It filters into everything that we do and everything that we say. You get brutalized for so long, like even though you know it's good, you're still scared to go there because that's what the Catholics did. They were there to make that barrier between the healthy and us and the culture and Mother Earth, right? And so they cut that culture. When they cut our hair, that's cutting our culture. I can remember talking to my family members about, hey, look, I you know, like I do ceremony and all that, and you know, I could see in their eyes that they just didn't get it, right? They like there was no connection there. That I was trying to connect. What I was doing is trying to connect, relate, assimilate, identify with, and they didn't see that at all. And I didn't understand back then, back in '03, when I did reunite with my heritage. I didn't understand the level and the amount of trauma that there was right on the reservation. Right? I didn't understand the residential schools. I didn't understand. I mean, I've heard about it, but I didn't know how extensively and how deep and widespread the wounds really were. And then, so, you know, a lot of my family members were just, you know, we don't do the medicine, right? We just don't, right? And all of them had been through the residential school, so it's not just one. So it wasn't my grandmother. It was my grandmother, grandfather, you know, mom, dad. You know, they all went. They all went to residential school, and there they tried to get rid of the Indian in the Indian, right? So now I come along, and I'm happy about the ways, because these ways brought me back to life. They added life to my life. They added peace and serenity and harmony and balance and all these things that I didn't know before. And I was treated, and I'm still treated with some kind of benign neglect, right? That is just kind of like, well, yeah, right, okay, yeah, kind of like I'm tolerated. I'm not accepted, I'm tolerated. And that's not a good feeling, right? Because because there's a little boy inside me that wanted to be welcomed with open arms. You know, there was a fantasy in my mind that they were going to love me and then take me to ceremony and do all these beautiful things. And the fact is, most of them ignored me. I thought it was really personal, but really, it's not personal at all. It was just their own wounds and the way they were, that they were raised, right? So it has less to do about me and more about their own personal histories and their own personal trauma. We're trying to hear the Red Road. We're introducing ourselves, reintroducing ourselves, walking with our truth. And if we don't approach our wounds or address these things, the traumas, intergenerational traumas, personal traumas, you know, there's a lot of sickness on the res, and it looks really different with everybody, you know. Reconciliation has to begin with the individual and understanding that, hey, like we're a broken nation, we're broken people, but let's, you know, there's a way to mend and a way to heal, and that's the way to speak our language again, to go to the ceremonies again, no matter what, right? And, you know, we're not quite there yet. So, there's somebody here. Yeah. Oh, were you Emily? Standing Bear? Second time around. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Enchantée aussi.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Our ancestors said, you know, when on Turtle Island, that as the invaders came over, you know, the invaders said, we are different people. And our ancestors said, no, we are the two-legged nations, like the buffalo nation and the eagle is one nation. And it's time that we understand. Is this time of the prophecies that we come together and we stand. And again, it's just simple time for, you know, the recognition of the pain that has been there, that is still there. It's okay to say that we are hurt. As a First Nations, it's okay to say that we are hurt. It's okay to say it is time to reconcile. It is also okay, it's time to heal. You know, I asked a question once in my younger days, where the heart of the tree is. Where is your heart? We as people, we have hearts. Boom, boom. bump. We have a heartbeat. We know where it is. And then there was a relative of mine that came down, and he connected all the hearts of all living things. And I said, and I looked to the tree, and I said, where is your heart? Where is your heart? And then so I asked my friends, I said, where, my circle, and I said, where do you think the heart of the tree is? And some of them said that it's right here, where the bulk is, where it's strongest. And then other people said down here where it meets the ground. And other people said it's in Mother Earth. And the tree then went on to say, I am all heart. I am all heart all the time. The brutality of Catholicism runs through my family and my story and the story of my people, the peoples of Turtle Island and particularly of Canada. And here we are now in a Catholic church right now. And now, there's been a beautiful level of healing here through the Red Road. Sitting in a Catholic church, and I'm not feeling scared, I'm not feeling nervous, I'm not feeling any kind of way. I know that I am protected and have been protected since the day of my birth. I know whatever forces out there, they tried to kill me, they tried to murder me, they tried to genocide me over and over again. And yet here I am at peace in a church. It is my own personal story and my own personal history that I can't get to this place called peace with myself without making peace with the Catholic Church. There's a level of forgiveness there. It is my feeling that obviously the church did some horrible things. The Catholic people did some horrible things. But here's also the thing, not all Catholics are horrible. And not all this religion is horrible. But those people that did those things to myself and the people, they did some bad things. And they know they did some bad things. And we know they tried to hide those bad things. And we know the Canadian government knew they were doing bad things. And now they all have to answer for those bad things that they did. And that is their story. That is what they have to do. The Red Road allowed me to do what I needed to do. And then I can remember Grandfather Tony asking me, well, why are we here and walking the Red Road? And I said, I don't want to be incarcerated in my mind anymore. I don't want to be incarcerated by sadness or grieving or anger or depression or loneliness and all those things. And then when I take a look at all these questions, why am I here? Why am I walking the Red Road? And I first started walking the Red Road for selfish reasons, because I wanted to be sober one day. But I stay on the Red Road to help others. That's why I'm here. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm here by whatever grace and mercy is out there, whatever great powers that be. The Great Spirit has kept me here to help others, and so that is why I'm here. And so I'm here to help others get out of that incarceration, out of that imprisonment. And if that means that I have to come now and explain myself in a church, then that's okay, because I am here not to fight. I am here to bring peace. It is the peacemakers in this world that will make the most difference.
Sosonan ginnegiuji tuan wani higemna misawash ni paguyan tagwana yamyewen kichi nakachi hingwan ani gudin kita sosonan ginnegiuji tuan wani higemna misawash ni paguyan tagwana yamyewen kichi nakachi hingwan. L'interdiction de parler nos langues, c'est un génocide. Tuer l'Indien à l'intérieur de l'être humain, c'est un génocide. Voler et vendre des enfants, c'est un génocide. Les femmes autochtones disparues et assassinées, c'est un génocide. La Constitution canadienne est un génocide. Kita sosonan ginnegiuji tuan wani higemna misawash ni paguyan tagwana yamyewen kichi nakachi hingwan. Ani gudin kita sosonan ginnegiuji tuan wani higemna misawash ni paguyan tagwana yamyewen kichi nakachi hingwan.
This is what we are right here. We are intertwined. We are intertwined, and we are overlapping. This is a beautiful representation. This is sweetgrass. This is a beautiful representation. We are stronger together than we are apart. These are prayers that the grandmothers have put together. The grandmothers.